Hi there, this is Sheena Rowlands and today I'm sharing with you my latest creation for Rosies Studio as their guest designer for the Keeping Cool collection. So for this video I wanted to make a card and a tag, and I'm focusing on the Keeping Cool stamp set. There are lots of lovely phrases on the stamp set and there's a couple of images. There's this large ice cream which I'm going to stamp now, and there's a smaller set but more like a border of ice creams as well. So I'm using a waterproof black ink here and I've stamped that 3 times. The card blank I'm going to use is there on the right so you can see the size that I'm looking at, and I'm now going to stamp one of the phrases with a waterproof ink onto vellum, and that says "I love you more than ice cream." So I'm going through the 6x6 pad of the Keeping Cool collection and I've chosen this stripy paper to be the base of my card. So I'm just measuring it up against it and marking it with a pencil. I'm just trimming it down top and bottom so that I can keep the middle stripe central across the card. And when I'm happy with that, I'll put that to one side. So I'm going to paint in my ice creams. And rather than actually use paint, I wanted to use something that was transparent, and I'm using distress oxide. So I'm stamping them on my mat and adding a little bit of water, and I'm using them to actually paint in the ice creams. Starting with the cones, and I'm trying to make them a little 3D, so I'm trying to make them darker on one side and lighter on the other. So it's easier to work across the 3 images at the same time. So I've picked up some pinky inks that actually match the colours in the stripy paper, and I'm going to use those to colour in the sections of the ice cream. So the ice cream actually has like 3 layers, so I'm going to colour each one slightly differently, and I'm just going to work my way through doing them. Trying to keep within the lines, but I am then going to cut them out, so it's not the end of the world if I do go over, but I am trying to be a little bit careful as I do these. I am going over, there's little sprinkles marked on these stamps as well, and at this stage I'm going over the top of them. But I thought that the stripy paper went with literally like the stripy ice cream, so I thought that it was a really good combination, this stamp and this patterned paper. So as you can see, I'm just slowly but surely, and I've changed my water in between, changing the colour and working across the 3 of the stamps. So I find this sort of creating very therapeutic, and you can't tell on this, but in the background I've either got an audio book or some music playing when I actually just colour this in. So I'm actually enjoying the process. So I'm going to put those aside to dry, and I'm going to bring in a little bit of metallic paint just to paint those sprinkles back in once they were dry. And it's literally I've got 2 colours there. I've got a pale teal and a pink, still trying to coordinate with the paper that I'm going to use on the background of the card, but I'm also trying to be random, which sometimes is actually harder than you think. So I'm trying not to think about it, and I'm just going in with a brush and painting some of them pink at this stage, just a random selection across the 3, and then I will be changing and I will do the same with the tealy blue. I would really recommend you check out this Keeping Cool collection. You will find in the blurb underneath this video a discount code coupon that you can use just on this range, and it runs out in July. All the details will be there, but I would really recommend that you checked it out. It's very versatile and I've really enjoyed working with it. So I'm going to stick the paper there to the card blank, and with a pair of scissors I am going to cut out the 3 ice cream shapes as close as I can to the stamp line, but without going over it. So it does take me a little bit of time, but not too long at all. Obviously I let them dry in between because the metallic paint was a little bit thicker. So there's my 3 ice creams, and I've got the title there as well, the sentiment for the card, and it's going to run straight across with the vellum, and I'm going to secure it with a couple of the enamel dots. Now, this is something that I really wanted to do. I thought it went so well with the phrase. It says "I love you more than ice cream," and 2 ice creams together form a heart. I don't know why I'd not seen it before, but when I saw this stamp set, that's exactly what I saw, and I just thought that's absolutely perfect. So I've added those 2 on foam, and I'm now going to add this sentiment, and I'm going to put some foam underneath the enamel dots. They're also from the Keeping Cool collection, so it all coordinates perfectly. So I'm just going to add a little bit of foam, and I can add that further down the card. So I really like the way that looks. So with the extra ice cream, I'm going to make a tag. So I'm applying the ice cream to the smaller white tag that I've die cut, and the strip of paper that was left over from the card, I'm going to add the red pink section to a bigger tag, because I'm actually going to attach the two eventually together. So just get that in place, just make sure it's tag shaped, and I'll add that paper to the tag. The fact I've got a tag and a card that coordinates, just think it makes a present look a little bit classier, and it just shows that you've made that little bit more effort. So I've just made some hole rings there, and I'm going to add them to the top of both of the tags and then punch the hole back in the centre. And I've just brought in that teal there at the front because it just coordinates with the teal that's on the card, even though there's no teal actually left on the paper, but it is in the paint on the ice cream. So I've now brought in 3 colours that go with the paper. That's a tealy blue, a pale pink and a brighter pink, and I'm just going to feed those through the top of the tag to make more of a tassel really. They're not going to actually be the way you would attach it to anything, but they just add a little bit more texture at the top there, and then I'm going to trim them all off at around the same length. So I'm going to show you some close-ups. I hope you really like this card and this matching tag. Thank you so much for watching. Do check out this wonderful Rosies Studio range. If you like what you see, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, and I hope to see you here again real soon. Bye for now.